I'm alive. I am alive. I'm on. I was like, am I not? Is it working? Isn't it working? Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Tuesday, the 3rd of February. Morning TikTok, morning Facebook, morning YouTube. Are we all good? Hope you're all happy, healthy, and well. I'm doing two things this morning. Number one, I'm sat here now, and I'm like, I've not put a hat on, and it is freezing this morning. And number two, wearing a short sleeve. It is a hoodie, but it is short sleeve. So yeah, I'm absolutely Baltic. I have got my heater on. Heater's doing its thing, but heater is fighting the weather this morning because it is bloody freezing. It is so cold. It generally is really, really cold this morning. It's really windy and just bleh. Windy and bleh. That's how I'll describe it. It's windy and a bit bleh. Not good at all. Anyway, how are you on this not so fine Tuesday? It is fine. It's all right, isn't it? Just gotta get used to it. Hope you're all good. I have got the Hunger Demons again this morning. I don't know what it's psychological, and it's going to be a tough week. I can feel it already. It's only Tuesday. I had him yesterday, and literally, so I've changed from having, basically, I've mixed things up a little bit now. I'm including 2 300-calorie protein shakes a day into my regular diet for the next 10 weeks. And you'd think eating all that extra protein would do the opposite. It would suppress the old appetite and I wouldn't be hungry and so on and so forth. It's actually done the opposite, and it's all psychological. And I think it's just because I've said to myself, I'm going to have an extra 600 calories a day or weight loss. I think the main psychological thing is, so I said to myself, for the next 10 weeks, weight loss isn't the priority. I'm not, but I don't want to gain any body fat, so I'm certainly never going to go higher than calorie maintenance. But the priority over the next year is muscle building. And I think my body's like, all right, well, we don't need to stick to a calorie deficit then. It's all in here. It's all in here. What am I going to do about it? Nothing. Just going to fight it. Just is what it is, isn't it? You know, keep my tools in place. Obviously, I've got these 2 shakes going in, but just make sure all my meals are pretty damn high volume, and just kind of fight it. I've not had anything to eat today. I think that's why I'm hungry. So this is my plan today. I will be having a yogurt bowl at 9:30. I've made it. It's sat in the fridge. It's ready to go. So as soon as I finish this live, bang, yogurt bowl will be straight in. I'm then doing a weight loss coaching live at 10:30. And at 10:30, while doing my weight loss coaching live, I'll probably have my first 300-calorie shake. And then lunch today, I've got some ready meals that I want to review for worth the calories. So I don't know if that is going to be my lunch. It depends if they're nice or not. I feel like I need more than like, I kind of don't want to be eating ready meals for my dinner today, if that makes sense. But I do want to review them for worth the calories. And today really is going to be, I've got my mate in tomorrow, grout in the bathroom, finishing it off. And then another mate in Thursday, I think plumbing the toilet in and a few other bits and pieces. And then Rachel's at home on Friday. So basically the only day I've got for a bit of peace and quiet for worth the calories is today. So I'm probably going to try them for dinner, but if they're not flicking the switch, I'll probably, cut out and go for something with a bit more volume. And then I'm going to have my second 300-calorie protein shake, probably about 2:30. Right, so I'll get that down because I'm spinning at 5 and I don't want all that fluid in my system, or I'll have it tonight. I haven't quite decided yet. Bit of a learning curve. And then tea tonight. Again, we're meant to be having pasta, but pasta doesn't give me tons of volume, but I can bulk it out with loads of veggies if needs be. So, today's not going to be the easiest of days. I don't think. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be the easiest of weeks, but it is what it is. Like I said, I've got my eye on the prize, and that will drive me through it. Anyway, there we go. Let's do top 5 on TikTok this morning. Let's see who's in. Let's see who's come to say hello. Lisa's in at number 1. Callum's in at number 2. Lou's in at number 3. Faye's in at number 4. And Regan is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. You're on my top 5 this morning. Thank you very much for jumping straight to live, coming and saying hello. Mummy Bear, hi. Paul is in. Morning. And Gemma. And Kira. Mr. John Jackson's in. Claire's in. Morning. Kelly C. Good morning. Bridget's in. Good morning. Sheila. Best 19826. Good morning. Who else is in this morning? Kirsty A's in. Maureen's in. Good morning. I know it's only 3rd of February. Can we talk about the next challenge? Oh, well. Faye, it's as if I haven't messaged Faye. Say, Faye, can you read the challenge up? Yes, we can. The next challenge, I will be sending all the details out tomorrow. I was waiting until payday. Everyone's been paid, end of Jan, this, that, and the other, because you don't have to pay to enter the challenge. The next challenge will be starting Monday, the 9th of March. So, yes, the next challenge is incoming. What is the Boss Your Weight Loss Challenge? Basically, it's my one-to-one plan, 12 weeks, 6 check-ins, but you get some targets to hit, and depending on how well you hit those targets, you get given points. And whoever scores the most points over the course of 12 weeks wins £500. All right, so this will be, I think, the 7th. So we started in September 23, I think. So we've done September 23, March 24, September 24, March 25, September 25. And then, this is the sixth challenge that we're doing. So it will be starting for half of entrance on the 9th of March. And then the second half will be the 16th of March. All right. So you'll either start on one of those 2 dates, and it will run until around the beginning of June. So it'll be done done and dusted for summer. And then we'll take June, July, August off. And then the next challenge will start in September. So, yes, I'm going to write all the details out. I will email everybody over the next. I'll try and get it out tomorrow. I am live in tomorrow. Then I'm doing gym and a few other bits and pieces. Then we've got the Everything Weight Loss session. So that is going to be my mission. It's going to be my mission today to kind of write it all up. And then tomorrow's going to be my mission to try and email it out to everybody. Yeah, they soon come round, don't they? So if you want to enter the challenge, it's 50 quid. All right. So it's not free to enter the challenge. It's £50. But the winner gets 500 quid. Second place gets £150. Third place gets 100. And then 4th and 5th gets 2 months of free coaching, which is worth £60. So if you place in the top 5, you basically get your money back, at least. But the winner gets 500 quid. You do need to be on my one-to-one plan. All right. So it's not just £50 to enter the challenge. You do need to be on my one-to-one plan. So you can sign up to my one-to-one plan, and there'll be a cut-off. Basically, you can probably the 3rd of March or 4th of March will be the cut-off. As long as you sign up to my one-to-one plan before the 3rd of March, I'll get you started on the challenge either on the 9th or the 16th of March. So, yes, challenge just around the corner. I need some reassurance. I keep waking up super bloated, even being in a calorie deficit. Is it normal? I don't know, Kira. That sounds like a medical thing, and I'm not a doctor. Calorie deficit, consuming less calories than you burn, just affects fat loss and fat gain. It doesn't have any other, it doesn't do anything else to the body. Right, the way you're putting yourself into a calorie deficit might make you bloated. I don't know, but calorie deficit is like, I thought being in a calorie deficit, I just automatically. No, it just is for fat loss, right? So I have no idea about there's no links between consuming less calories than you burn and being bloated, but there might be links on the way. Like the amount of calories you're eating, types of foods you're trying to eat while being in a calorie deficit. I don't know. Morning, Neil. Nice 40-gram protein bacon cider this morning. 2 slices of Aldi protein sourdough and 4 medallions. Very, very nice. Very, very nice, Becky. I've actually just put a little post on if anyone fancies a bacon and egg sandwich. in a calorie deficit. 2 slices of medium granary bread. You can use any bread you want. You just need to calculate the calories. 4 bacon medallions from Aldi. They're the lowest calorie bacon medallions on the market. 54 for 2, so 108 calories for 4 bacon medallions. 1 egg. Tablespoon, of ketchup, 370 calories, 35 grams of protein, 3 grams of fiber. Calorie deficit is a myth. No, it's not. It's thermodynamics. It's physics. Physics can't be a myth. That's the beauty of it. It can't be a myth because it's physics. It's science. It's proven. It's a formula. It's like saying gravity's a myth, right? Well, you can put your tin hat on and become, the Earth's flat. It's not. It's proven the Earth's round, right? Proven that why gravity exists, right? Explain how calories are physics, because they're a unit of energy. A unit of energy, like watts. Electricity is measured in watts. It's a unit of energy. Yeah, dead simple. Really is simple. Now you explain to me why energy isn't classed as physics. Go on, have a go. No, units of energy aren't physics, Neil. How stupid of you. So it's a unit of energy. 1 calorie is what it takes to increase 1 degree of water, 1 liter of water by 1 degree. Increase the heat of it. Thermodynamics, burn, heat, energy. Right? It's all physics. I'm waiting. Come on, you've disappeared. You've gone very, very quiet. You're very, very quick to come on and explain how calories are physics. I did it instantly within about 4 seconds. You explained to me why calories aren't physics, why units of energy don't fall under physics. No, nothing. I've had a bowl of fruit for breakfast. Today's gone out the window as daughter's school is closed. Is that down to the weather? Or is that just down to the school's just closed for any reason? I remember being in school, no electric, right? And you just sat there, and then you got butties for your dinner. I never remember our school closing. Never. I mean, I used to fight left, right, and centre for a sick day. Now kids never seem to be at school. Is that just me sounding really old? Maybe, I don't know. They've had a water leak and flood and now no water. Right, well, yeah, I mean, I kind of get it. But I'm like, why do you need water to learn maths or science? Well, they need it for a drink, Neil. I'll get some in. Go to the shop. Do bottles of it. Honestly, I'm so old. In my day, schools were never bloody shut. They probably were. I just can't remember. Caroline, good morning. But today's not going out the window just because your daughter's off school. Why has that changed? Don't get me wrong. I know it might change plans slightly, but it doesn't change weight loss. It generally doesn't. It might change your routine slightly, but we've got to roll with that routine, and you've just got to kind of adapt. Might make things a little bit trickier. I'm still waiting for Jay to tell us why calories aren't physics, why units of energy aren't physics. Has he gone? Has he done one? You might be like, oh God. Sound a bit stupid now. I suppose I better leave. Our school didn't even close in the snow when the heating wasn't working. Yeah, I was going to say, I just do not remember, ever being so lucky. Don't think we ever had internet. I mean, I left school in 1990. I left primary school. I left high school in 1995, I think. So that's like 96. It's like 30 years ago. But yeah, we never, I could wake up and look. I could wake up and be sick, and my mum was like, "No, you've not been sick for 20 minutes. We'll send you. If you're not right, I'm sure they'll phone us." And I'm like, "I got really ill, right?" Anyway, there we go. No, still here. You just ignore my comment. I didn't. I answered it. You asked, you said calories weren't physics. And I said, yeah, they are a unit of energy. Same as watts, how we measure electric. So I answered it instantly. And I'm waiting for you to tell me why calories aren't a unit of energy or why calories don't fall under physics. There you go. I've mentioned it loads. So let's get your amazing take on this, Jay. We used to have snowball fights at school and play conkers and marbles. Too much health and safety now. Yeah, we used to play conkers. Used to bake them in the oven, soak them in vinegar, nearly take someone's eye out. No one batted an eyelid. No one did lose an eye. No one lost anything. You might have got the odd bruise because on a knuckle or something like that from playing conkers. Yeah, it is. But again, this is sounding old now, isn't it? This is just us sounding old. In my day. Yeah, anyway, there we go. All happens, doesn't it? Right. Let me see. I'm upside down. No, all good. So what is going on with me today? It's spin day today. I always find Tuesdays a little bit weird because I'm very much in a routine. I like to do a live. I like to go to the gym. I like to get everything done out of the way, and then I normally like to do 2 or 3 hours of work by about. I class my lives as work because I'm chatting to you guys. I'm answering questions. People sign up to plan on this, that, and the other. So I was on the sofa this morning at 7. I couldn't bring myself to come in the office. Too cold. I did put my heater on though. So I was on the sofa at 7. So I've worked till 8:30. Then doing this live. Then I'm going to go and grab some breakfast. And yeah, I always feel my routine's a little bit out of the way. I like getting everything done and then just being in for the day and working. But it's spin tonight. We've got weight loss coaching live at 10:30 this morning, and the old weight loss coaching live is how to keep the post-Christmas motivation going. Now, some of you might be sat there going, "It's not even started yet, Neil." Right? It's not even started yet, but for many of us, it has. The majority of my clients, have checked in twice this year, and the majority post-Christmas weight gain, including myself, is gone. They've got back to it, but we're kind of in a bit of we get into February, and it can become like the honeymoon, the post-Christmas honeymoon period can start to end. New year, new me, New Year's resolutions, all this, that, and the other. So I'm doing a live this morning about how to keep that motivation going. Now, if that motivation hasn't kicked in yet, it might be something to watch as well to try and ramp you up a little bit. So that's this morning's weight loss coaching live. We're doing that at 10:30. If you would like to be involved in this morning's weight loss coaching live at 10:30, you need to sign up to Plan. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page, Instagram. Doesn't matter. Get to my link tree. Click on my monthly one-to-one plan. I am running my New Year, New Me deal until Sunday evening. I was going to finish it on Wednesday, but I've been really rubbish at promoting it. I'm going to put it on my Instagram today, and I'll put it on Thursday as well. But it is getting last chance saloon if you want to come on my one-to-one plan for not a lot of pennies. £15 half price sign up, and you're going to get 4 months of coaching for the price of 3 up until Sunday. After that, it's back to full price. All right. After that, it's back to full price for at least a few months. Because then it's head down and we are into the Boss Your Weight Loss Challenge. If you sign up using the discount code now, you can also take part in the Boss Your Weight Loss Challenge, which does start at the beginning of March. And it will run until the beginning of June. I think last year it finished on the 6th of June. So I'm kind of hoping it's going to finish around that time. And then summer's just summer. We'll take summer off. I know a lot of people are more summer holidays. I always find weight loss a bit trickier over summer. I generally do. I've said this year in, year out since I started coaching in 2021, online coaching in 2021. We have to accept there are easier and harder times to lose weight. If it's a harder time, it doesn't mean we can't lose weight. It doesn't mean we can't make progress, but things can be a little bit trickier. But when it's an easier time to lose weight, we've got to make hay while the sun shines. And for the majority of people, this time of year, for the majority of people, some people might have a lot of holidays this time of year, escape the winter and this and that. I get it. That's fine. But if January, February, March isn't your make hay while the sun shines, then, you need to make April, May, June 3 months to do it. There's got to be some compromise somewhere. I'm a big believer in you can have your cake and eat it, but I'm also a big believer in you can't always have your cake and eat it. Some people just don't want to change their lifestyle. They don't. Their lifestyle's the way they live their life. But, they don't want to do what we need to do to have a successful weight loss journey. And the majority, and that's fine if you don't want to do that, but don't whinge about being overweight. And if you are constantly complaining about being overweight, then the lifestyle that you lead, that you've led in the past or that you currently lead, has to change. It has to change. So, if you are someone that takes 10 holidays a year, right? And you can go on holiday, you can fully enjoy yourself as long as you get back to it. But if you're someone that takes, for whatever reason, you could be retired, you could just be very, very wealthy, or just you're not retired, but you own your own business, so you've got lots of flexibility and freedom. But if you're taking 10 1 to 2 week holidays a year that are full luxury, all inclusive jobs, right? You're just going to be constantly counterbalancing your weight loss with your weight gain from your holidays. Now, you don't gain loads of weight on holiday, maybe 2, 3, or 4 pounds. But if you're going away every 7 or 8 weeks, then, you might lose 2, 3, or 4, 5. You might lose 8 pounds over those 8 weeks. And then you go away for a week and you gain 4 of it back. So it doesn't mean at the end of the year, you shouldn't still actually be in a little bit of a loss. But constantly seeing the scales going up and down from the way you're living your lifestyle can be detrimental to our mindset. One of the biggest challenges a lot of people face is social calendars. And unfortunately, we've got to break that a little bit. When I was 37 stone, I went out every weekend, drinking every weekend. It wasn't, most weekends, it was a smash up. Right. And it wasn't planned out to me. It was just go to the pub, and it's just what it escalated into. But there was no off switch from me. There was absolutely no off switch, right? No off switch whatsoever. And when I started my weight loss journey, something has to give. And, going out on the smash every weekend was something that had to give, to the point now where not that I couldn't think of anything worse, but because I love going out, I love having a beer, and I love going out with my mates. I'm not saying I don't, but do I love that more than being fit, healthy, energetic, having loads of motivation all the time? No, that's the honest truth. I don't. And this weekend I've had my mate round. He's been grafting, and we watched the football on Saturday night, Chelsea West Ham game, and he finished up and he went, "Oh, I'm going to have a beer. Do you want one?" I said, "I'll just have a Madri Zero." And we sat on the sofa, and he had 3 beers, nothing major. He had 3 proper beers, and I just had a couple of Madri Zeros. Great. Didn't need to be drinking. But if I'd had 3 or 4 beers, then the crisps would have come out, right? And then I probably would have. And then he went, and then he was like, "I'm going to go to the pub." And I was like, if I'd had 3 or 4 beers, and Rachel would have been, in fact, if you want to, I'd have been like, "Do you know what? I'll walk around with you. Why not? I'll have an hour. We'll go and watch a bit of the Liverpool-Newcastle game in the pub." And then I probably would have had 3 or 4 more beers. Then I'd have felt like I wouldn't have been hungover on Sunday, but I'd have been a bit rough on. I'd have been like, "Oh, I've had a beer." That would affect my motor. I'd have been tired. I wouldn't want it to move. I wouldn't want it to do this. So it's all a bit of a knock-on effect. So I never want to feel like I'm being hypocritical. I do drink, right? But one big change I made was I can't go out. I'm on my weight loss journey. I used to go out actually every Friday night. First year of my weight loss journey, I went out every Friday night and had 4 pints of Coors Light, right? Because my life revolved around the pub. And I said to myself at the start of my weight loss journey, I'm not going to any extremes. Don't want to go to any extremes. So if you cut everything out totally, you can end up craving it. You can end up wanting it. And then you just, it's that restrict and binge cycle. And that can work for anything. So what I did was, first week of my weight loss journey, now I used to go to the pub on a Friday at like 2:30. I'd finish work at dinner time on a Friday, go home, might play my Xbox for an hour, get showered, get changed. And my mate Keith, who run the pub, he'd pick his kids up from school at 3. So he'd very often come and get me, because I lived in the next village. He'd very often come and get me, and then we'd stop at school on the way back, because it was on the way back, pick the kids up, and then we'd go to the pub. And I could sit in the pub from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd just sit there for hour after hour after hour after hour. First week of my weight loss journey, I went to the pub at 8 o'clock, drove up, I went up at 8 o'clock and I was really unfit, really unhealthy. I was still really struggling with my mobility, but I was still like, and I used to go, I used to go to the pub. I used to drink before going to the pub because that was my painkillers to get me there. And I didn't, but I dragged myself there and I just had to it. And don't get me wrong, I'm looking back now and I'm like, maybe a little bit counterproductive, but I can't say anything because I lost 10 stone in my first year. I can't critique anything really. And I went and had 4 pints of Coors, and then I went home and I walked across the street, got on the bus. Last bus was at 10:15 back to my village. And I got on the bus and I went home, and my mates pissed him on. Oh, where have you been? When I walked in at 8, and then, oh, you're not going home now. I was like, yeah. I'm taking this weight loss thing seriously, blah, blah, blah. And I did that every week. And after a few months, my mobility was miles better. And when it got to summer and the warmer months, sometimes I'd push it and have 5 pints. Always Coors Light, nothing any stronger, on a Friday night. But I'd walk home. And that was my thing. If I'm having one more pint, I'd miss the bus and I'd walk home. So I didn't cut drinking out at all, but I made those changes. Then when I met Rachel, it ramped up again. The social events ramped up again because I'm meeting Rachel. I'm going out into Manchester meeting her friends because that's where she's from. She was coming over here and we were going out meeting my friends. And next thing, don't get me wrong, I wasn't back to, we went out like couples go out. Well, I say that, 7:30 at night time, chatting home at 10:30. It wasn't anything major, but we were doing that quite a bit more and drinking quite a bit more. And that's one of the factors why my weight loss really slowed down in year 2. And then really from 2016, we both put a cork in it. Rachel's not a massive drinker anyway. She was just doing it to kind of fit in a little bit. And and since then, really, other than I'd say, well, COVID then changed things a little bit with drinking for me because you couldn't go anywhere. It was a bit of boredom. Yeah, drinking a bit more. And that kind of escalated a little bit. When you came out of COVID, you didn't know when pubs were going to shut again. So you were making the most of it. Pubs are back open. Let's go to the pub. Let's go out for tea. So my drink kind of spiraled a little bit. But then only really last year, I really put a lid on it again. And I felt amazing last year. And it's all learning curves. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm sacrificing my birthday this year because 3 weeks after having a long weekend away. Yeah, and it is. And again, don't get me wrong. You're not sacrificing anything. You can still enjoy a birthday, but it depends how you enjoy your birthday. So many people, again, we just use things as an excuse to just go off the rails for like a week, and it's a birthday. And I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate it and go out for a meal and this, that, and the other, but I've got mates that are just like, yeah, it's my birthday on Tuesday. What are you doing on Tuesday? I'm going out for a slap up meal with my partner. Nice. And then we're out Thursday night with my mum and my dad and this, that, and the other, right? And then Friday night we're out with some of her friends because they want to celebrate with us. And then Saturday I'm out with lads. It's your 39th birthday and you're having 4 sessions over it. Like, do you really need to? But, and again, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. And if that's what you want to do, but if it's things like that are then holding you back on your weight loss journey, these are little things that's got to change, And there's nothing wrong with, I always try and tie up my birthday with a little holiday, kind of when it falls this time of year. We did last year. We went to Benidorm for a few days. Again, I'm not trying to sit here and say, well, that's wrong. You shouldn't celebrate your birthday, but does it need to be 4 sessions? Do you know what I mean? For one birthday, 40 if I get it, 50 if I get it. Do you know what I mean? So it's just little things we might need to have a look at. And then, like John there, he's away 3 weeks afterwards. So I'm going to celebrate my birthday in 3 weeks on my long weekend. Still might have a takeaway for my birthday or still might do this, but we'll celebrate it in 3 weeks' time. I get it, I had to stop alcohol. Haven't had any for 8 years now. Yeah, a lot of people with it, it is about control. And sometimes there's certain things we just can't control. Now, for me personally, food, I don't think you can quit it. By the way, I've not said it no LO21. Anna on Abby, on Facebook. Good morning. Yasmin on YouTube. Good morning. And Jez on YouTube. Good morning, guys. You might have already done one. You might have bored of him. He's not talking to us. But yeah, I don't think you can quit any food. A lot of people like, I want to quit. I want to quit. I think there's too much. There's not enough outside. I don't know how to describe it. Basically, with alcohol, a lot of people, it is looked down on a little bit, and it is something that doesn't need to be part of our everyday life. Food always will be. Now, I'm not saying chocolate needs to be part of our everyday life. Cake needs to be part of our everyday life. But I always say, and for the rights or wrongs of it, I always say this about if you compare other addictions, right? And food is an addiction. If you went round to your nan's house, right, and she offers you a piece of chocolate cake, and you go, whoa, Nan, I'm not, I've got a bit of a weight issue. I'm not eating chocolate anymore. Right, oh, don't be daffy. It's just a slither of cake. They peer pressure you into it a little bit for rights or wrongs of it, but they would. But your nan's kind of right. It is just a piece of cake, right? And food doesn't have any it doesn't have any massive withdrawal. We think it does. It doesn't, right? There's been lots of studies on this. It doesn't, right? But in counterbalance to that, if you had a massive problem with drinking and your whole family knew that, and you made the change to go sober, if you went round to your nan's house at Christmas and she didn't quite know, right? And she was like, right, you having a sherry? And like, Nan, I've got an issue with drinking. Like, I'm basically an alcoholic, so I'm not drinking anymore. Some people actually would force it onto you, but normally the response, your nan might, they don't understand, but the response would be, maybe I'm using your nan as a poor example. Maybe like going to the pub. You go to a pub out for a meal, right? And you got out with some friends for a meal, and you're all ordering desserts. You're like, no, I don't eat sweet things anymore. I can't control myself around them, so I've quit them. People are like, oh, have a dessert. It's only a bit of ice cream, or it's only a bit of this, or it's only a bit of that. If you go to the pub and you sat around and be like, oh, have a glass of wine, and you go, I've got a confession to make. I'm an alcoholic, right? And I've got to go sober because it's effective. And people go, oh, yeah, not a problem at all. Do you want a Coke? Do you know what I mean? There's a different response from people. So, and again, for the rights or wrongs of it, we shouldn't be peer pressured into anything, whether it's food or alcohol or drugs or smoking or anything like that. But there's different like connotations. I can't think of the word. And the thing with food is, I always think as well with food, there's so many different flavors that cross over. So you might quit chocolate, but then you might have something that's kind of coffee based, and it's like, ooh, chocolate. Do you know what I mean? Basically, I think food is the only addiction where you have to learn to control it. You have to learn to control it. I don't think there's any other option, Whereas other addictions, alcohol, smoking, drugs, gambling, you can quit it. You can quit it. Some people might say, well, you're weak minded, then you should be able to just quit eating chocolate. You should be able to just quit eating fast foods. Maybe you should, but I just think there's too much. You might quit eating fried food, but then you go to your best friend's wedding and the starter's chicken goujons, and you're like, oh, I don't eat fried food. I'll just sit here starving, this and the other. It doesn't fit into everyday life. And in some ways, quitting alcohol might not fit into everyday life for some people. You've got to make a lot of changes to do it. Do you know what I mean? Does that kind of make sense? It's always a hard one to kind of, I choose food over alcohol any day now, 100%. I would choose eating calories over drinking them any day, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. Right. Let me scan down, see if I'm missing anything. Gaining weight on holidays allowed, 100%. Striving towards gaining weight is allowed. That's, again, something people panic about. Gaining weight is allowed. A weight loss journey, you can't be perfect on a weight loss journey. Life just doesn't allow it. There are certain things that are taken out of our control that stops us being perfect on a weight loss journey. And because of that, we have to accept there's always going to be periods of weight gain. Again, for some people, there doesn't, there doesn't need to be. Some people can just quit things and change things permanently and this, that, and the other. But Oh, I've lost my train of thought there. Let me scan up and say, oh yeah, holidays. There's certainly weight gain. You know, some people might be like, nope, I'm not gaining weight for the rest of my life. And some people might, but I just think you have to understand where we've come from. You know, I'm someone that used to be 37 stone. That means I've got massive issues around controlling calories, right? And there's certain circumstances where the need to control calories is just going to be for a short period of time a bit too great for me to, you know, there's also that want and desire that I want to and fully, I want to be able to have, and this is what stopped me having bariatric surgery. I didn't want to have that choice taken away from me that if I want to have a calorific week, if I want to eat a big pizza every now and then, and I wanted to have my own control over that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so gaining weight on holidays, gaining weight at any point is allowed. It's on a weight loss journey. We just want to be trying to lose weight more often than gaining it. And if you do that, you'll end up in a much better place, you know? Right, let me scan down. I'm 6'4", 245 pounds and want to be below 200 pounds by August. What's your recommendation? Healthy, sustainable calorie deficit. Now, I'll be honest with you, you know, to lose 45 pounds, 3.5 stone by August, you're quite a big person, right? Tall, 6'4", 245 pounds, 17.5 stone. You're about the same weight and size as me. It's funny, really. You're 245 pounds, so am I, roughly, right? And my mission now is to gain some weight, and yours is you want to be under 200 pounds. Like under 200 pounds at 6'4" is you know is pretty lean. Is really lean. Why do you want to be so light when you're so tall? My recommendation would be get in the gym, train, lift weights, get a bit of hench. Honestly, that would be my recommendation. I'm not saying you can't trim out some body fat, and I'm not saying I'm 245. I'd like to be. My ideal weight for me is 60. I'd like to be at some point, maybe by the end of this year, 16 stone, which is like 220. That'll be the lowest I'll ever go. But, you know, I coach healthy, sustainable fat loss, which is around about £1 a week. Now, if you weigh 245 pounds, it sounds quite a lot to some people, but not when you're 6'4". 245 pounds at 6'4" and 245 pounds at 5'8" are two completely different weights. So really, for me, I think at your current weight, £1 a week fat loss is probably still healthy and sustainable. 7 months till August. So, you know, it's 7 months till August. Half a stone a month. 3 stone, 42 pounds. It's probably doable. It's probably doable if you've got a really good level of movement, right? So yeah, healthy, sustainable weight loss. Get into it. Get into a calorie deficit. To lose 45 pounds, right? We said below, so that'd be 46 pounds below 200, right? This is 1 pound of body fat, right? And this person wants to lose 46 of these. There's 3,500 calories in a pound of body fat. So let's times that by 46 times 3,500 is 161,000 calories, right? So to lose 46 pounds, you need to consume 161,000 calories less than you burn, right? So the first question is, how many calories do you burn, right? That is what any calorie allowance should be based off. It should be based off how many calories you burn, right? Once we know that, we can then determine whether your calorie allowance is going to be healthy or, you know. So if you go, right, well, I burn 3,000 calories a day. All right. So we have got until, let's say, 7 months until August, right? 17. So we've got 210 days. So you burn 3,000 a day times 210. Right, so you burn 600. You'll have burnt by August. You'll have burnt 630,000 calories, minus 161, which is your deficit. So you're allowed. So you can eat 469,000 calories. Let's divide that now by 210. So your calorie allowance will be 2,233 a day. So you'd have to eat 2,000. Now, I'm not saying that's right for that person. I don't know what their calorie burn is. But for someone that burns 3,000 calories, if they wanted to lose 46 pounds of body fat by August, they'd have to stick to an average of 2,233 calories a day. And if they did that consistently over the next 7 months, they'd lose 46, which is a deficit of around about 650 calories a day. Not ridiculous, not too overly restrictive. Because I want to join the United States Marine Corps. All right, so you've got to be under it. So there's like, get it. So anyone that wants to, lose. So basically, work out your calorie. You need to know your calorie burn. I told you need to be in 161,000 calorie deficit by then, right? Deduct that off, divide it by the amount of days you've got until you're going away, and there's your calorie allowance. There's your calorie allowance that you need to stick to. And if you have a specific target, you want to join something where you've got to be a specific weight, you need an operation where you've got to be a specific weight. I get it. There you go. Come on, plan with me. I'll coach you. We'll see. We'll do our damnedest to get you there. I'll tell you exactly the calories you should be eating, the movement that you need to do. If you want to join the Marines, then you need. I assume your level of movement's excellent anyway, because your fitness has got to be really, really good. So let's get at it. Let's get at it. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. Not a problem at all. Yes, if anyone wants to join the One-to-One Plan, TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page, click on my link tree and click on my link tree and there you go. And you're all good. What are we? Click on my link tree. Click on monthly One-to-One Plan. Code is New Year, New Me for the discount. New Year, New Me for the discount. That's it. I'm thinking there was something else to say, but there genuinely isn't anything else to say. Anything else to say on that? So how did my first day go yesterday? So I'm in this I've got into this like, I'm calling it a muscle building phase. Someone messaged me on Instagram yesterday and they were like, you always said you're not a bodybuilder. Why are you going into it? I'm just mixing it up. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not doing this to I won't look any different, right? It's 10 weeks, right? But I just want to mix it up a little bit. I just want to, I've changed my training up. So yesterday I'm lifting a lot heavier than I would do normally. Normally I do quite intense training. So I'm maintaining muscle. I do resistance training, but I sort of do 30 minutes or 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for about 35 minutes. And because I use quite short rest periods, I tend to lift lighter weights and do more volume of sets and reps. So anyway, what I've started yesterday is lifting a bit heavier. Going to make my training sessions a bit longer, so 45 minutes of weights. And I like to say, and all I've done in terms of eating is I'm just slamming a lot more protein into my system. What's the knock-on effect of that? I am absolutely battered this morning from lifting a lot heavier. It really does take a toll on the body, but that's the whole point of it. You've got to break the body down for the body to adapt to make things bigger and stronger. But first day went good yesterday. Got the shakes in. They're quite big, so I've got to chug them down quite quickly. But we did that. We're all good. I might end up breaking them down. I was just going to do 200-300 calorie shakes. Then I might end up I'm having 6. I might break them down into 3 200 calorie shakes because I can literally drink them in 30 seconds, really. So, but yeah, day one went pretty good. Got my journal signed back up, strong app. So logging my workouts again. And I think you've got to mix things up a little bit. You have got to mix things up a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. If your sole goal is weight loss, you've got to keep your head in the game. But when you get to, I've had this with quite a lot of clients where they've still got quite a lot of weight to lose or weight that they want to lose, but they've come a long way on their journey. And from coming they might have been weight loss for a couple of years. And there's nothing wrong with then maybe for 3 months going, do you know what? I'm still in a calorie deficit, just a much smaller one. I'm going to mix it up for the next 3 months. That's kind of why I ended my first weight loss phase in 2017. I knew I was 20 stone, 5 pounds, 6'5". I knew I still wanted to lose some weight and get some weight off. But I also I've been doing the weight loss job for 3 years, 9 months, and I just needed a break from it. And I've told this story. I was chatting to a guy in the changing rooms in the gym. He was in really good shape. And he was just like, mate, just start concentrating on your training now and your nutrition and this, that, and the other. And I'd never really done that before. I'd always eaten relatively healthy, but I'd never looked at, fueling the body properly. I'd never looked at really training properly, putting proper training routines in. So, and that's what I did from 2017. I took my foot off the gas. I started eating a bit more. And don't get me wrong, I always knew I was going to go back into a weight loss phase. And that happened subconsciously, really, from becoming a personal trainer. But the important thing is, if you do decide to mix up a little bit, so go, right, for the next 3 months, smaller calorie deficit like I'm doing, and let's get a bit more food into the system and let's ramp the training up a little bit, you don't regress. Right? You don't regress backwards. Whatever you change your focus from a little bit here and there, it should never lead to consistent weight gain. I'm going to gain some weight over the next 10 weeks, but the hit of the weight gain is probably going to hit in the first 2 to 3 weeks. Again, I won't look any different because it's like an internal gain just from taking on more fluids. Is my body fat going to go up? No, because what I'm going to start doing now, when I do my weekly weight loss vlogs and I do my check-ins, I'm not only looking at my weight, but I'm going to look at my body fat percentage as well. So my current body fat percentage is 21.7%. And ideally over the next 10 weeks, I want that to come down, even if it's just 0.6 or 0.1. So it goes down to 21.6. I'm not bothered. That means whatever I've done, I've not got any fatter. Right? I've not put any body fat on. So I'm going to look at that as well. And I'm pinning that in this week's weekly weight loss vlog, which will be out today. I'm off. Catch you soon. Great live as always. Thanks. No problem at all. I'm going very, very soon as well. I'm dreaming of my yogurt bowl. So yogurt bowl, shake. Got to try 3 ready meals for this week's worth of calories. So I don't think that's going to be my permanent meal, as it were. I don't know if that's going to be my dinner. I think I'm just going to try them. I'll log the calories for each one and then make that a proper lunch, as it were. Morning, first time I've catched in a while. Jenna, hope you're well. Not seen you for ages. Do you think learning impulse control around food has helped your control in other areas of life? Yeah, 100%. 100%. The knock-on effect of my weight loss journey, and I don't know if it's like learning impulse control around food. So, I've got full food control. It has taught me that I can control anything in life. Like, it sort of taught me that I'm in control of my life, if that makes sense. I was always all over the place with I always thought things were totally out of my control, and they're not. Life is what you make of it. Life is so, and it's definitely helped me with routine. I definitely, obviously things like setting up and running my own business, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of control, it takes a lot of patience to build a business up. And I am a very I've said this before, I'm so disorganized, I have to be over-organized. I'm so irrational at times, I've started to think very logically. Like, I've had to put, and obviously that then just, has it helped with my gym, with my training? Massively. Has it helped with running my business? Massively. And I'm still not perfect by any means. I could do so much more. And I still have those lazy traits that I've always had all my life that can come into play. I also struggle to stay focused on one thing for a long period of time. So, I set up my coaching business, and then next thing I'm doing ebooks. Next thing I'm doing protein boxes. Next thing, because I get bored very easily. So doing the same thing over and over again. I'm currently writing an ebook to teach you guys how you can monetize social media as a side hustle to make a bit of extra money. You know, I've started doing that. You know, my brain always skips. So, but when my brain skips to something else, I still keep the basics in place. So the coaching's still in place. I've set that up now. I need to move on to something else. The only thing I also am guilty of is I spread myself too thin. So I've got to be very, very conscious that, like, you know, you start doing this, that, and the other, and then the other thing starts to falter. So I did with my coaching. I took my after prize a little bit in 2023. And it started to dip, started to lose quite a lot of clients, started to lose, and I wasn't replacing him, but I wasn't bothered about replacing him because I was concentrating on something else. And then suddenly you go, your income's dropped £600-700 a month because you're not, and then it's like, right, let's get your head back into the game. You know, you need to understand this is a source of income. You know, I started doing a lot of like social media content, and I've got to be very careful that doesn't take over from my coaching. Although they run in line now, really, in terms of income, my social media pays me as much as my online coaching kind of does, really. It's not a million miles away, but it's not as consistent, right? So again, my main focus. Does that kind of make sense? I can so relate to the so disorganized. I need to over-organize to cope. Yeah, 100%. I've got to have a diary. I've got to have this. I've got to do it, you know. And this is Rachel that's really helped me with this. So, like, in the morning, it's like I write a to-do list down and I've got to tick the boxes on it. If I don't, I'm just all over the place. I have a diary. So all my lives are in my diary. My gym sessions are in my diary, you know, and I'll be like, and sometimes in the morning I'll plan it, right, I'm going to do this here. And then I have to put reminders in. So like every half an hour before everything's on, weight loss coaching live, Facebook live, YouTube live, TikTok, like, you know, do you know what I mean? It all comes in. Gym session. This is happening today. This is happening today. Yeah. So I have to, because I'm so bad one way, I have to go too far the other way. And then I get very fixated on routine. So when my routine's mapped out, I don't like it when it changes. So that affects me in another way. Yeah, you don't want to be in this thing. It's all over the place at times. Right, guys, that's me. I'm out of here for this morning. Would you go back to helping with workouts? I used the one you sent me first time, but it's easy for me now. Workouts should never be easy. Workouts should never be easy. All right, and I'll tell you why. Especially when it's training. The basics are the basics. So when I did my workouts online, right, I didn't know what to name them because you call them like beginner's workout, and people that have been going to the gym for you, they're not useful, right? The basic exercises that I did when I first started lifting weights, I still do them now, right? You just lift heavier or you lift more intensely. No, like the basics of a workout: chest press, shoulder press, row, bicep curl, triceps, right? You know, when you start off shoulder pressing, you might start off at 2 kilograms. One of the most basic compound press movements there is a shoulder press. You might start off at 2 kilos, you might start off at 4, then you go to 6, then you go. I've upped the weights to make it harder. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. A lot of people want, like, right, I need the next advancement of exercise. So, you know, I need what's one up from a shoulder press? There isn't. The shoulder press is amazing. Now you can vary your shoulder press. You can do it, you know, open-handed, close-handed like that. You could use a barbell. You could use dumbbells. You could use a resistance machine in the gym. So there's lots of different varieties of it, but a shoulder press is a shoulder press. Same with a chest press or bench press. It's just taking something away from your chest, whether you're using dumbbells, a barbell, whether you're seated resistance machine, whether your gym's got a lying down plate loading machine for chest press is a press, right? And really, we don't want to overcomplicate training. We want to keep training simple, but we want to progress it in the right way to push ourselves. So, and there's 3 main ways. This is my last thing for me today. You can mix up your training, right, to take it to the next level. Increase weight, yeah, increase intensity, And well, I suppose this might come under the same thing. So increase weight, yeah, increase reps and sets, right? Or increase intensity by shortening rest periods. So if you have a 1 minute, let's say you're currently shoulder pressing 8 kilo dumbbells, and it's I do 3 sets of 10, and at the end of it, it's dead easy. What's your rest period in between? Well, I don't really have one. Well, that's the first thing. Apple Watch, timer, as soon as you finish your set, 1 minute timer, right? And as soon as the timer goes off, do your next set. As soon as the timer goes off, do your next set, right? When it gets easier, shorten your timer to 45 seconds so your rest is less. Shorten it to 30 seconds so your rest is less, yeah? Lift heavier. So if your 8 kilos are easy, switch it up to 10, right? If after 10 reps you could do more, do more, right? If you get to 20 reps, I would then recommend that's when you want to either shorten rest periods or increase. So there's lots of different ways to make things very, very basic, very, very hard, right? So that workout I might have sent you, Regan, 5 years ago, send it me now. Send it me now. Send me the workout if you've still got it, and send me the weights that you do for each thing and the rest periods. So I need the amount of sets you do for each one, the amount of reps you do for each set, the weight you do, and the rest period you have between each set. Now, if you're like, well, sometimes I do 3 sets, sometimes I do 4, sometimes I'll do 8 reps, sometimes I'll do 12. I don't know my rest periods. I don't time them, right? That's something to change, right? And then when you've got it all logged down, I think you said you were writing it down or something like that, send it to me and I'll say, right. So, and I'll send you 3 different varieties. I'll go, right, well, we're going to lift, in this one, we're going to lift lighter, shorter rest period, more reps in this one. And then we could also go, well, we'll superset. Let's do those 2 exercises back to back. There's loads of varieties. There's loads of variation. Loads that we can do. All right. Guys, it's been a pleasure as always. I'm going to go smash my yogurt bowl in. If you're on plan or in the community, if not, come get signed up. TikTok profile, Linktree. First time on Linktree is an inquiry form. Touch base with me. Hi, Neil. What can you do for me? Send that over. I'll send you all the details. But yeah, we will. I'll be back at 10:30, and I'm going to talk about trying to keep that Christmas motivation going into February, March, honeymoon period. The bubble might have burst a little bit. We're coming out of a quieter period into maybe a bit more of a social period. That's going to be the live at 10:30 this morning. So I'll see you then. Yeah, that's it. Guys, I'm out. It's been a pleasure. Just knock my camera over. If you're on plan or in the community, I'll see you in about an hour. If not, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 10:30, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. TikTok, see you later. Adios. And Facebook, YouTube, same. I'll see you tomorrow morning. If you don't follow me or on plan, if you're not on plan or in the community, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30.